My personal experience in life has been that when I was young, I remember having this incredible sense that I could do anything. I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I was a young kid. I wasn't one of these kids that instantly thought, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a fireman. I didn't really know, to be honest. All I knew is that I was very emotional. You know, in some moments I could be hysterically crying, and in other moments I could be laughing and totally joyful. And, you know, although that had some difficulties with my family, I go, oh my God, he's quite a wild, kind of spontaneous, impulsive boy, you know. So, and I grew up with that emotional drive, emotionally defined energy in essence. And as I was going through life, I just had this feeling, this strength, this power to feel like I could do anything. And that felt amazing, to have that power as my friend. And in fact, I didn't realize I had it, of course, until I lost it. Now, I lost this power when I was 14 years old, when I was walking down a road with my best friend next to a nightclub, and we got jumped by 15 individuals. And the attack that took place was so intensely violent that it put me into shock. You know, these people didn't just beat him. I mean, they strategically just wanted to kick him in the head so many times that the doctors said that one more kick to the head would have killed him. And he left that attack so deformed that you couldn't even recognize him. He looked like the Elephant Man. Broken jaw, bones, you know, nose, blood coming from every orifice. You couldn't possibly imagine a more grotesque scene. One that haunts me, and it will always haunt me for the rest of my life. That image of somebody that I so deeply care about, like a brother to me, who we grew up as best friends since we were 2 or 3 years old. You know, for the last 10 years, we shared everything together. And then watching that, and then feeling the powerlessness in me to not act to help him. I mean, I just stood there, and they didn't come after me. I just froze in paralysis, in total shock. I did nothing. And watched as these guys just hurt him. And there was my mind was racing, going, come on, Christian, fight, fight. What are you, a man or a mouse? And I went to move, and nothing. It was like, have you ever been in one of those dream states where you're dreaming and you want to move, but you're paralyzed? It's like your body and your mind just aren't connected. And in fact, they aren't. I mean, when they look at the science of that dream state, you know, your brain actually shuts off from your body at a certain point, and you can't actually move. Yeah? So that actually happened to me in the middle of this, when I just couldn't move at all. And that was terrifying, to realize that in fact I had no choice. And it was the first amazing lesson that I learned in life, which is contrary to what a lot of personal development teaches you. A lot of people say that we create our reality, and that we have the choice to change and to move in the direction that we want. It's all true, by the way. That isn't wrong. But what I notice is that when we're under extreme stress or trauma, or when we're being triggered or hijacked by energetic and emotional forces that are yet to be fully digested and that feel safe for our body mind to receive, we will go into defense, and it separates and severs our capacity to choose in that moment. From a neurological point of view, the blood gets pushed to the rear part of the brain, and it's where the front part of the brain is, where we actually have access to choice, to logical, rational decision. But when we're put under extreme stress, those choices are no longer available, and we go on autopilot. However, my autopilot was like a deer in the headlights, completely frozen. Now, of course, that was the primary wound. The secondary trauma comes after the event, dealing with the guilt of inaction, thinking I should have done something. And it's so interesting, I attracted all these people, friends at school who had no capacity to be sensitive to my situation. They were going, come on, Christian, with all the martial arts training you did. By the way, I had done 6 months at that time. Come on, why didn't you kick their ass? And they made fun of me, and now I was the joke for being the weak guy who didn't save his friend. So now the humor and the make fun and the belittlement just added to this sense of, my God, I thought I could do anything, but in fact I can do nothing. I'm a complete and utter failure. I'm a fraud. There is no power that's in me. So I went from this knowing of being the power that I was into somebody who was not confident. I walked through life for the next 3 or 4 years experiencing panic attacks nearly on a daily basis, especially at night. I couldn't really get out at night. It was a very, very hard time. I didn't really make many friends. People didn't really want to connect with me. They couldn't connect with me. I was like a cardboard cutout. There was no emotion. Whereas before I was fully emotionally connected, now there was like this void. I was numb. I was disconnected. There was nothing. Nobody could feel me and I couldn't feel them. My relationships failed. I couldn't be intimate with anybody. I got addicted to pornography because that was my way of dealing with the tension and all the shit that was going on in my life. And I went to chiropractic college a broken man. And then something really amazing happened. I had it, I lost it, and I found it again. But I found it again using a very specific set of tools and vehicles that I am very excited to share with you. And it's now what I've dedicated my life to offer and share, because it's in my service of helping other people reclaim their power now. Because I know it can be done, because I'm a demonstration of that. And therefore it's my honor and my privilege and it's my heart's purpose to awaken that in others. And there's a very, very clear and unique way that this can be done, and it's not being done, by the way. People aren't teaching in this way. So if you're thinking there, oh, okay, he's just going to talk about another retreat that's done in the same way, it's not. This is brand spanking new in all the retreats that I've done, and I do a lot. I have not seen this work being done in this way. We're coming into a new paradigm of heart-centered work where it's not about the left side, understanding, rational, cognitive, intellectual personal development. This is now activating a completely brand new part of the brain that is dormant for most of us, where we can tap into vast amounts of intuition, incredible energy, deep emotional clarity, knowing of our purpose, connecting to our heart, fearless loving, where we don't go into our defense and resist and sabotage ourselves. And the most effective way to do that is not through reading a book, not through some individual practice. The most powerful, most brilliant, and most unique and joyful way to do this is in a small group awareness training. And that's what my entire practice is built up on now. I hardly do any one-on-one type of coaching anymore. It's all group, because I see the power of it, I can feel the power of it, and it was that that opened me. It was that saved me from where I was to where I am today. And I have a strong feeling that if you resonate with my work, that if you get a real sense of, yes, there's something about this guy and what he's saying and the way he is that resonates with me, then it's probably because you're emotionally defined, that you really love and prioritize relationships and discovering your purpose in your life, that you get juiced up by waking up in the morning knowing your own potential and pushing that to a further and further amount, to go inside and feel that that there's more, not because you feel you need more, but because you just know, and that life is this exciting journey of discovering just how far you can take yourself, where you're always expanding, always becoming bigger. And that itself is such a joyful process where the learning never ends. And it's not about getting fixed. It's not about getting rid of all the stuff. It's about living. It's about really living. I mean, yikes, we're going to die at some point, right? And it may be closer for some of us than others. So wouldn't it be worthwhile to find a way to quickly come into our hearts, fully come into our full power, and to live that joyfully until the end of our days? Well, that's my invitation to you. I've got a great way of doing it. I found a really, really efficient and fast way. So if you're interested to find out more, check out the next video that's going to be coming out and leave a comment below. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about what I've shared so far. I'll see you in the next video.